So this is exciting. So this evening, we're going to be meeting the illustrators for L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future, Volume 41. These are the illustrators who are all winners of the Illustrators of the Future competition. I want to just give an overview of the competition. There's two phases. The first phase is that artists enter the contest with 3 pieces of science fiction and fantasy art. And then Chernik, our coordinating judge, selects 8 finalists. And from there, our panel of judges select 3 winners each quarter. The second phase of the competition is when the illustrators are commissioned to create a color piece for the anthology. And as the managing editor for our anthology, I've had the opportunity of working with all of these artists over the past year. So tonight, we're going to be reviewing the art that each of these winners enter the competition with. This gives you an idea of the art styles and the quality that you'll be seeing in our volume 41. And when the volume is released, then you'll be able to see the art that they created for the stories in the anthology. There are several of our illustrators of future judges who are going to be, or who are in attendance or will be coming in this evening. Craig Elliott is our cover artist for volume 41. And we've pulled some of their art. Bob Eggleton is here. Ryan Hales will be coming or is here. Bea Jackson and Chernik, our coordinating judges at the Emerald City Con. She'll be coming in as she is able. Lazarus Chernik, Rob Pryor will be popping in. Tom Wood is our cover artist for volume 39 as well. I'm going to turn this over to Craig. He's going to walk us through each of the illustrators that we have with us tonight and their art that they originally won the competition with.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. So, John, can you say a couple things about your pieces here?
Yeah. So I entered kind of on a whim and was really happy to get in, but I really enjoy making atmospheric art. I like the fantasy and science fiction, but I really like to try and crank up the atmosphere as much as I can. I really enjoy sort of narrative artwork or sort of more implied narrative. This last one was for a faculty show. I always think it was a fun story, and I realized I was teaching perspective and realized I didn't understand it as well as I should. So this was sort of my effort to study that. But yeah, I love making sort of atmospheric artwork.
Nice. I also love you have a sense of graphic composition too. You simplify things, like in this case, the trees, right? Some of the other ones, the shadows, you welded all the shadow values together here. Exactly. And like you're limiting your palette too, so that the design is really strong and, powerful.
Yeah,
Uh,
I did my undergraduate in graphic design, so I like to think
there it
that
is,
informs a
right?
lot of my thinking.
Okay. Any of the other judges want to have some comments about his work?
Hi, John. This is Lazarus. This is my first time actually seeing you. I was not a judge during your particular quarter, so these are fantastic. Particularly, just like Craig said, it's graphic, but I would describe it that you're very, very good at controlling where the eye is going. The composition of the artwork and what you're looking at. You're good with your triangles. You have beautiful space and depth in your pieces, and I'm really excited to see what you ended up with for the illustration inside the Writers of the Future. Good job.
Indeed. Anyone else? Bob?
Really nice stuff. This is really, really super nice work. It's got a great atmospheric kind of feel to it. That faded off feel it's very hard to create. It's harder than it looks to create, trust me. And that is gorgeous. And it's just absolutely beautiful. A lot of dynamics going on there. Really beautiful.
Takes a lot and shows a lot of control.
Right, exactly. I was going to say that. Exactly.
Easy to copy a photo, but then to do something of your own with it, right, is like, that's the huge challenge. And you're doing a lot. Great stuff. Thank you so much, John.
Well, thanks so much.
So up next, Cam, would you like to
Hi,
do something
can you
about
hear
your
me?
work? Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Welcome.
Yeah, I also heard about the competition a bit through a whim. I got it through an email. I figured, okay, I think I kind of have the artwork for this sort of thing. So I applied with what I had, and this is what I had. And I'm glad I'm here now.
Yeah, so are we. This is amazing. I mean,
Thanks.
talk about range in one book, right? Like, or even between two artists, but it's all great work. There's so much to look at, so much story and so many things to explore in your work.
Thank you.
It's so much imagination too, right? Like it's just pouring off the page. Like almost
Yes.
everything I look at, I've never seen before, which is
Right. Yeah.
incredible.
Well, thank you.
It's a totally unique style. Very unique. Lots going on.
Yeah.
I like to sorry if I'm cutting anyone off. I like to draw on canvas a lot, just with pure pen on
Oh,
canvas. That's fun for me. I kind of developed a bias against erasing during high school, so just kept with it. And if I make a mistake, I can try to turn that into something else. So that's how I think about it.
is that partly where your imagination folds out from? Like you make a mistake or you make a mark that you didn't necessarily intend, and then something kind of comes from that, or
I think so. I think it kind of creates a relationship where I'm communicating with the canvas, right? And I think everyone kind of has that sort of thing. But if I make what seems like a mistake to me, the canvas will see it as, oh, no, it's supposed to be this instead. So
right?
I go along with that, you know. It's kind of like a little it's a bit romantic to say it, but it's a bit like a dance,
Yeah.
conversation with the artwork itself. The
Yeah.
artwork already knows what it wants to be. So I'll let it be what it wants to be.
Yeah, I always think of it as sort of a feedback loop, right? You do
Yeah.
something, you react to that thing that's there visually, and like it's so yeah, it is a conversation. It's a back and forth that evolves. Yeah, beautiful stuff. I want like a bigger monitor so I can see more closely here.
It literally has its own world to it. Like it could be an animated movie. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's got its own vibe going on. In the same way, if you ever saw the movie Yellow Submarine, that sort of thing, it's like its own thing going on here, and I can hear music to it.
Yeah, it definitely has a Yellow Submarine. What was the Monty Python illustrator slash movie director?
Terry
Gilliam.
Yes, Terry Gilliam feel very Alice in Wonderland theme. That this is an exquisite style and storytelling technique that's not going to match every single project, but is going to be beyond perfect for certain projects. I mean, you do. Like I said, Alice in Wonderland or some of these, heck, Naked Lunch. I mean, you have such a great
exactly
narrative with details and exploding creativity everywhere that really, really shines in this piece. Again, this is the first time I'm seeing these, and I'm really impressed. Good job, Cam.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and like you said, Laz, on the last one, I can't wait to see the piece that's in the book, right? Like, and how that relates. So great stuff. Thank you so much, Cam.
Oh, of course. Thanks for having me.
So next we have Haley. Is Haley here? Well, we can just talk about their work then. I mean, I'm loving all the rich, deep colors here.
Yeah.
And like just the human expression too. There's every human on the page is doing something different, relating to us in another way. And yet it all hangs together. This poster is really beautiful.
Yeah, this is a great style of work. It's very popular right now too. The kind of the poster look, the thing. It's very, very popular.
It's very Jim Gold poster-ish, with specific focal points on faces, which is very, very important.
Yeah.
Different emotions, the different characters. You want to look at every single one and figure out who are they, why are they, and of course, the deep Central American themes are really unique to us up here, but they're just exquisitely done.
Thank you so much, guys. Sorry, I'm in here.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you. Sorry, I just took a took a break from work, so I'm glad that I'm able to hear just great positive feedback. And this was my my pet project. I am a huge comic book fan, but I'm also Mexican, Salvadorian, and Yaqui Native American. So I wanted to essentially combine those two elements and I love drawing females, and I felt that this was just something I really wanted to bring to life.
Are these then all related to each other as a unified project, these three pieces?
Yes.
Okay.
They are all a unified project. Yeah, they're all my main characters of the Calavera sisters are my
Right.
protagonists, and I believe that second one of the female on the throne, that's my antagonist, based
Okay.
off of a Aztec, a real, well, real in a sense, but Aztec folklore goddess, a god named Tezcatlipoca.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
studied those a lot, and that's a really interesting twist on that
yeah.
character. That's awesome.
Thank
I see
you.
some Michael Whelan / Alphonse Mucha influence
Yeah.
in this piece. I absolutely love it. Yeah, we'll talk more about that in a couple weeks.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Again, really looking forward to seeing what you've come up with for the volume. So
Yes.
amazing stuff. Thank you for
Thank you.
illuminating what you do and why too.
Thank you.
All right. Up next is CL. I don't know. Is CL here?
Maria's here.
Oh, you unmute.
Now I'm unmuted. Hi.
Yeah, there you go. Tell us something about your pieces.
All right, so all of these are watercolor. I do paint in other mediums, but all of the ones I submitted to the contest are watercolor. This one that you're showing right now, this one is actually an illustration for my recent science fiction novel I'm currently submitting to agents. And this one is the first painting that I did for a graphic novel that I'm working on about a biologically engineered bat pig. So
That's great.
That piglet just kills me. It's so adorable. You killed that piece.
And the wings are a nice sort of second read. So you think cute pig, and then you're looking around and you go, wait, it's got wings, right? Like that twist. I love that little twist.
It's like Bunnicula, but the next level, you know.
the little robot that's under the leaves there, that's one of the robots, junk robots that saved the bat pig.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
This last one, it's more of a figurative piece. It's also illustrative of a short story that I wrote. So
Wonderful imagination in all these and incredible watercolor technique. That's one of the hardest mediums there is. So definite applause for handling it so masterfully. Yeah, I love these pieces. You also like move in and out of like you can do depth and you can all do graphical, which is a really, nice range of skill to have too. Like this one feels more on a single plane, which is certainly appropriate for lots of things. But then like this one, you have all these, like, I feel like there's all the way to the universe in the back, right? A nice variety of work. And you're exquisite at detail too.
thank you.
Thank you so much for showing us your stuff. Up next is David. David.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, welcome.
How's it going?
Good. Tell us some stuff about your work.
I am a traditional painter. I work in oils. I started my career in watercolors, but I moved into oils in 2013. I love mythology. I love gaming art generally. I
Love this one.
love. Thank you,
Great.
Bob.
Yeah.
Not that I haven't seen it before, because I've seen it before. I love it though.
Yeah, with this one particularly, I was, I'm kind of known for like ethereal, empowering women in my work, and I was just like, I want to create that, but darker. I wanted to explore the darker part of my range, but I love monsters and creatures, and I've been trying to incorporate more creatures into my work in the last few years.
Now, your work is just really powerful. Like, each one has a very strong statement, right? Like you could see it from across the room. It'd be great on a book cover, right? Like, amongst all those images people have to look at, like your kind of image, people are just going to be like, oh, there's that one, right? Like,
Right.
it won't get lost on a bookshelf.
Thank you. I love I always joke that like if I could pick a superpower, I would pick flying. So I've always gravitated towards like angels and birds and stuff like that. So just painting a winged creature is something I love to do.
It's fun. It's difficult to do too. I did one for Magic a couple months ago, and it was like stained glass wings, right?
I saw that one. That's awesome.
A lot of work, but it pays off. So yeah, and it paid off in your case too. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Anyone else?
So
Bob, Laz?
Well, your composition for and sensitivity for single figures gesture is really commendable. That you gesture with the wings, the arms with the angel piece, with this demon devil thing. Even the horns have a gesture. I enjoy the expression on her face. That's just key for me. I always look for the face to make sure that the face is doing something other than just a Botox I'm cool look. And even in this one, the curl of that mouth has a certain gothic sensibility about it, and by that gothic I mean like 1990s level of just
I love how those dragons hook around. They kind of form like these arches in back of it. I love the way that looks. It's just,
of course you would, Bob.
Yeah, all of the energy.
Not that I'm biased about things like
all the energy.
I was inspired by you, Bob. I was inspired by you, Bob.
Great stuff. Yeah, I was saying that for compositionally, all the energy gets drawn into that one gesture in her hand and kind of pushes out. Thank you so much. Great stuff.
Thank you so much.
Heather Ann, are you here with us?
Hello.
Hey, tell us something about your work.
Yeah, so I love my fantasy, I love my dragons, I love drawing scenes of like epics and action. This was a piece, most of these are class projects. I'm a senior at the Savannah College of Art and Design. So I think most, if not all of these, were things I did for class. And I had really in doing creature design and creating like mythical beasts. And yeah.
Very cool. My boss, Jeff Tremmel, just went out there. I don't know if you saw him. He runs our Spider-Man show. Great stuff. I mean, boy, like you're also your choice of color. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a dragon in pastels like this, just glowing, right? Like it's just alive. And that, your intense action and all the wonderful diagonals you put into this piece.
Really, I love the juxtaposition, a relationship between the dragon and the horse, that I could see it either being, a literal scene of a dragon flying with the sun, or it being a dreamlike thing where the rider is imagining that their horse is a dragon, or the dragon is the horse's spirit. You could tell that story either way, but they both, you could claim the story is either one, but it is just sings. The structure and the dragon's pose is really, really keen.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. It's got a great there's a great dynamic and a great sense of weight to this dragon.
Not easy to do for something that's floating in the air. It's not easy to give it that sense of gravity. Yeah, great stuff. Thank you so much, Heather Ann.
Thank you.
Up next is Daniel. Do we have Daniel with us?
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Yeah, I like
tell us something about your work.
Yeah, a lot of my work, I like having a lot of narrative and a lot of like dynamic poses with characters. Like all these are also school projects. I go to Ringling College. I'm a junior, and I really like fantasy and like sci-fi. I like kind of like color, but like kind of like a gritty sense where it's not super like colorful, but it's like muted in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you have a focus on color because, I mean, especially like looking at this piece, again, like I was saying about one of the earlier artists, that control, right? Instead of doing the palette of the whole rainbow, you have a definite scheme in mind, and in this case, a complementary colors, and you're using all of the grays of each of those colors and all of the saturated versions of each of those colors, the darks, the lights. I mean, they're, as you, I'm sure in doing these pieces, there are so many colors you can get out of essentially what is two colors here, right? And so much that you can articulate within that. And I always admire people who can do that. It's that putting yourself in a box, but then exploding out of the box and excelling at it, right? Like this is the same way, right? Limited palette, right? You're playing those cool grays and almost not even quite blues, right? They feel blue against all that warm, and it just sings. It unifies it, right? Just great stuff.
I think
technically your pieces are superior. They're just beautiful, but I have to comment that my favorite part about all of these pieces is your storytelling. It is exquisite. because and that goes beyond just thinking about light and color and structure. You've mastered all the rest enough for you to concentrate on each character story. Each character in it is in writing we say that they're the hero of their own story. You're giving every single person and subject a personality, which just chef's kiss.
Nobody's just filling space, right? Like if
I really love this one.
Person's
This is
face.
beautiful. It's got a great dynamic to it. A lot of diagonals, which indicate diagonals are great because they can indicate a lot of action and stuff going on, a lot of movement going on within a picture. This is really nice.
Indeed. Wonderful stuff. Looking forward to seeing what you do in the book. Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thank you.
All right. Brianna, are you here? Welcome.
Hello.
Tell us some things about your work.
So I'm also studying at SCAD. I'm a graduate student. So these are all pretty much also school projects where I was following like a specific theme or so. I generally like to focus on, or I tend to gravitate towards more like characters. Like I really like anatomy, so like I want to draw people and animals. So the structure is kind of a one-off thing that I normally wouldn't have done, but it's potentially a little bit more telling the story of where a character I might be working on for my thesis lives.
Nice.
Yeah, so you can tell in like the first one and the last one, I kind of avoid backgrounds, but I'm pretty challenging myself with that. So
It's always good to push yourself. And I mean, we all know where we have our weaknesses, and you could spend a lifetime avoiding them, but the fact that you're still a student and tackling them head on tells me, you're going to go far. Because I mean, and this is a wonderful set. Like this is essentially most of what my job, my art department does for me, like building sets for our Marvel shows, and like this is exactly what we do. Like you could work on our team, so you're definitely capable of this for sure. So have confidence.
Yeah.
You're obviously have the skills to do it all. The biggest challenge with school projects is there are always unreasonable deadlines for your imagination. So I definitely see, I could combine the skills that you have with the isometric structure on the one and the beautiful attention to detail in and the movement in the Raven piece combined into a single work of art. Had you given the time or the assignment, that would merge them. So good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you have, I mean, again, like you have so much range. It's like each of the pieces has a very definite, like kind of usage and sort of genre, but like each excels in its own way. Like the Raven piece is so atmospheric and dreamy, and I could see like in book covers or interior illustrations or even posters or fine art, right? Like there that sense of mystery and then yet sharp focus at the same time it really engages the audience. And then this is such a wonderful illustration. Like, you're illustrating a moment of storytelling and myth, and I know what's going on in all your pieces too. It's really you're very explicit too in your illustrations. So great stuff. Bob, you have any thoughts?
No, it's really, really beautiful. I really like the way there's some very ethereal going on here. Very nice. Just, the way the kind of the glow is really, really nice. There's a kind of the creature, the being coming out of the flames is, it's like perfectly done. It's transparent and at the same time opaque. So there's little bits you can see through and little bits you can't. So.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, up next we have Jordan.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. Tell us
Thank
something
you for
about
having
your
me.
work. Of course.
I am the third SCAD student here. I actually think I saw a fourth one in the chat, so we're representing.
Oh God, I
I'm
love
also a senior, much like Heather Ann. So that means that a lot of these pieces, actually all of them are class pieces. I'm really big into fantasy, specifically D&D. I just really adore high fantasy work and literature and all of that. It is hugely inspiring to me. I love to do really grand pieces, and I try to push myself with every single one of them and do something different for each one of them. I'm really detail oriented, and I really love just creating works that people feel like is a snapshot into stories.
I definitely see all that in your work. I mean, that
Yeah.
snow scene is like, I'm right there, right? Like it's, yeah, really wonderful. Yeah, and yet, these other ones, you're also really playing with a lot of graphics and kind of like
Yeah.
background. Like you understand both, which is really cool.
The previous one you had up, it's really got a wonderfully disquieting angles to it. That one, yeah, it's something very moody and just disquiet. Just it's like something a little just off, but it's really beautiful.
I love how they're engaging with the audience. Maybe not this one is more literal, looking directly there, but all the others are the environment just pulls you in. Like here, the audience is in the woods, hiding with that person from that monster.
Definitely.
And again, storytelling is key for me. But these are exquisitely executed too.
Yeah. I mean, storytelling, like you say, Laz, is just like looking at these. There's so much to draw you in and give you the sense of something's going on. What's going on? Like who's doing that? Well, why are they doing that? Yeah, it's wonderful stuff.
And I feel a part of it. Like here, I mean, I literally feel that dragon is coming directly at me. The angle that you placed everything. The same characters could be seen from many different places. Specifically, giving this eye shot of looking straight up at that lich and the dragon, I feel the danger. I feel the drama.
Definitely. Great stuff. Thank you so much, Jordan.
Thank you guys.
All right. Trilini, up next. Welcome.
Hello.
Hey, can you say something about your work, please?
It stemmed from having a very boring childhood. Lots of time inside sketching. We lived in the middle of nowhere, so it was either go inside and draw or go outside and play with rattlesnakes. And it's scary how often the rattlesnakes won. But I love fantasy. I love epic fantasy, and I love the look of a good traditional oil painting. There's something that you can achieve with the luminosity of layering oil paints that's just enchanting. And so, I like combining and playing with those elements.
This one here is really, really remarkable in the sense that I don't know if you've ever seen if you've seen any painting, you see my Instagram. Makeup artist Rick Baker has taken to oil painting. And this is not unlike that. It's just sort of, it's got this really, really creepy kind of, you see what I mean if you go look at his work. But it's really nice. I'm really drawn to this one a lot.
I love
was ridiculous to paint.
The variation of textures in this piece just it blows my mind. I just love how you cannot the volume of space that is smooth and empty. I cannot even try to move my eyes to look at it. There's no point. All I see is that face, that eye, that gesture, and then the bird. I mean, it's just it's exquisite. The emotions that pour out of this. But looking at your other pieces, same thing. You're great at texture.
Lots of imagination.
I always start off with like a pencil drawing to concept design the creature and character, and then I take that pencil drawing, bring it digital, do an underpainting digitally, and then print that off and do color in oil if I have time. If I don't have time, I finish it digitally. But just moving from one media to the other, you get to use the advantages of each media to emphasize and play with textures. So it's just taking advantage of multiple different things to build that up and layer it in, which is what oil paintings used to do.
Right. Yeah. You months between layers, right? Like you do a little bit and then they'd wait. The masters would spend so much time. So these are all oil paintings in the end? Or
Finished with oil, yeah.
finished with-
Except for the old man. I sent that in before I finished the oil layer on it. So I've worked on that further. It's even more
Okay.
textured now.
Wow. Be interested to see that. Wonderful stuff. Thank you so much, Hermione.
I love your characters. You're so character focused and driven. That's a personal preference of mine. But the character you've designed for the dragon rider is beautiful, just beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. Next we have Mariana. Are you here with us?
She's not here.
Not here. Okay. Oh, we can talk about her work anyways. It looks perhaps like gouache or watercolor to me. Probably watercolor. I see a little bit of paper texture there.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, boy, that's the tough medium. And
it looks mixed. I think that maybe some watercolor, but there's definitely some additional like Conta crayon or something added over it, maybe.
Yeah, that's very possible. Colors are just so nice and singing and bright.
Mm-hmm.
I love the design too. Like costume design and character design here is really strong. Wonderful stuff. Well, I can't wait to see what she comes up with for the book. Very nice. I guess that's everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Nice stuff.
Talking about your
really.
work and seeing it all. It's just incredible. Gallery of Wonders.